Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the ultimate goal planning. Guys, I just wanted to do a quick introduction and kind of put some method behind the madness before you get started. No, this program isn't a bunch of selfie videos of me walking around, but I wanted to just take a minute and share an authentic introduction with you as to why I did this and why I got this started. There's a fundamental flaw in the way that we set goals. The way that you've been taught to set goals is just fundamentally wrong. We have this incremental mindset that we've been taught of setting reasonable goals, setting reasonable targets, and we segment our goals into these short, middle, and long-term goals. Most of you got into business and you had a glimpse of what you were after. You had an idea of what success looked like for you. Right? Whether you started an insurance company or a mortgage company or real estate company, whatever it is, when you first started, when you took that job, when you started that business, you had an idea of what you wanted, of what success looked like to you. And what probably happened was that you put that in a box and you put it on a shelf and you said, I'd like to make $1 million, but right now, that's not possible. Right now, I need to focus on making my first 100 grand. And then you put that $1 million mindset on the shelf, and you start working at your business with a $100,000 mindset. And then from there you'll go to 150, and from there you'll go to 200, and from there you'll go to 300. And what's going to end up happening is what most people do. You'll never actually reach the target, and I'll tell you why. If you want to go to New York, but you type Dallas into your GPS, you're going to get to Dallas. And then you realize you're not at New York and you say, okay, well, I think I get a little closer. Let me type in Iowa. You end up in Iowa. And then you end up in New Orleans. And you end up all over the map, but you never end up in New York. And then at the end of the day, you figure out, why the fuck didn't I make it to New York? How is this happening? And the problem is that you never put New York into the GPS. You never actually set out to go to New York. And that's exactly what we do in business. Is we get a glimpse, we got an idea of what New York looks like, and we can picture ourselves walking down 7th Avenue. We picture ourselves at the, at all of the iconic buildings and Rockefeller Plaza, and we get a glimpse of what New York's going to be like, but then we never put the coordinates to get us to New York into the GPS. And that's exactly what happens with most people when it comes to goal setting and business planning. You have an idea, you have a vision that you want to make $1 million, $10 million, $100 million, that you box it up and you never actually put a plan in place to go after $1 million target. And you make up every excuse as to why you can't do it. I don't have enough people. I don't have enough marketing dollars. I don't have an office big enough. I don't have this. I don't have that. And you'll think of every reason logically why you can't make $1 million. And then you wonder why at the end of the day you don't get there. And that's ultimately what I've learned when I'm working with guys like Grant Cardone, Frederick Eklund of $1 Million Listing, Katrina Campins from the season 1 of The Apprentice, who work with Trump International Realty. Some of the top business minds in the world I've worked with, learned from, created programs with. And it's this mindset shift that changes everything. It's what separates the good from the great. And it's the piece that you're missing. And that's what this program is about, is giving you that missing link. Listen, I set goals the same way that you did. I said, I want to make $100,000. And then I realized when I made $100,000 that I really didn't want $100,000. I really wanted to make a couple $1 million. But here's the thing, is I didn't have any depth. One of the things that I learned from Grant Cardone is that your goals have to have goals. You have to have depth. There has to be a why. It's not just a cliche of understanding what your why is. This is something that's absolutely critically important if you're ever going to achieve your goals. And so after 4 or 5 years of working with these different guys, I've worked with Garrett J. White from the Wake Up Warrior program, worked with Christopher John Stubbs, worked with Tanya Waring, who wrote one of the most successful ads ever created for a company called MyPillow. Some really, really, really sharp business minds. Over the course of 5 years and well over $100,000 of working with these guys. And that's what I'm putting together for you, is to show you the processes that I've gone through, what I've learned, and how I've been able to make this fundamental shift that changes everything. It's not more leads. It's not more marketing dollars. It's not more people. It's not a bigger office that's keeping you. It's this missing link that I've learned from the best of the best, and what separates what they're doing and how they're thinking and how they're planning from everybody else. And that's what I'm giving you in this program. Listen, I've done this for the last 3 years, and I've seen dozens of people make their first 6 figures. I'm excited to go on this. I want you to follow the steps. I want you to have an open mind, and I want you to think about giving me a clean canvas, forget everything you've learned about goal setting, and follow this process, and I promise you, you'll radically change your business.